Hello y'all, this is the Roblox game Blox Cards, and what we're going to do is test out a Morphic group deck made by yours truly. And, well, continuing on from that, Morphic is a blue group that is dedicated to summoning Morphic goos, then targeting them. Targeting these goos causes them to transform into a random fighter. This causes the Morphic group to be extremely unpredictable. Most decks around the Morphic group dedicate themselves to extreme levels of luck. They can either be unfair for the opponent or totally useless, and they're kind of controversial for that because they're all based around luck. And besides, all the goo cards we're running here, such as Gray Goo Scenario and Goo Golem and Gooplast and the Goo Toxic Goo. We also have some red action cards here, and that's because the effect that Eisenhower's Apprentice has, and we also want to use those red action cards to get Infinite Flames, which can grant us 300 damage, infinite 300 damage per turn, and 300, just a card that can easily transform goos if we have to. And besides that, special care was taken to pick out cheap red actions that can either be used that are either cheap or can cause a problem for opponents even if they affect allied fighters, such as Protracted, Murder, and Mob Mentality, which will deal 350 damage to a target allied fighter. It will transform goos, and it will also deal 350 damage to a target enemy fighter, so it can be pretty useful. And with all that said, the code for this deck will be in the video description, and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe. We're now going to be in a match against a player, Skylar Chen 0204. They're using a Smiley Necro Syndicate faction deck, it seems, which is red and yellow, and is centered around the mechanic of ransacking cards in the graveyard. So what we're going to do is play the Goo Golem. We'll put the Goo Golem in the base plate, play the Toxic, cast a Toxic Goo, and in turn that will generate us a Goo. And we got a pretty good starting hand, and Morphic is extremely unpredictable, and there's a lot of benefactors from Morphic Goo, but as for downsides, the majority of the cards in the group cost a lot of blue studs, and it can take a lot of time to transform Morphic Goo. They're using intrusive advertising, I see, aggressive advertising to try and get cards for their graveyard. Which, why are you using that? You don't have no way to gain from that. What do you gain from that? You have no Money Factory. They do have Money Factory in their hand. It's like a mixture of shovelware and smileys. That's a pretty interesting combination. If they do have it, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm very curious to see what they do with that, honestly. What we're going to do now probably is put one of these Gooplast in the base plate. Oh my goodness gracious, they're building up so many fighters. They're doing everything they can to have momentum. Put the Pumpkin Bomb in the base plate, and then discard one of these Gooplasts. We just need more cards on the field. Cast this to transform. It's going to be something random. Magic Broom Black Cat isn't great, but whatever. Transform this as well. And now we have the Dwarven Pilot, which is alright. In turn, we may put that Gray Goo Scenario in the base plate because we simply need more cards out here very soon because they may overwhelm us otherwise. It's just, for Morphics, you need to keep rolling the dice. You need to keep playing goos and transforming them because who knows what you're going to get. It could be something very good. It could be something not very good. Just, you got to keep rolling the dice and transforming those goos. It's complete luck. It's complete RNG at times, and that's something you have to depend upon, and it can be very brutal to the enemy or very nice to them, such as that Magic Broom Black Cat. It's mainly good because of its on-cast effect, and when you transform a goo, it does not have on-cast effects from it. And what are they going to do now? I'm very curious, what will they do? They have to attack, maybe. They use the Cackling Hellbiker. They'll ransack 3 to unlock that card, and they'll attack. Now they have Overload. What will they take out? I guess the Toxic Goo, probably, because it is a generator for us. And there it goes. We have not enough cards in our base plate at this time. And what would they do? We're going to have to attack as many cards as possible. Oh my goodness, they have the Snickering Skewer. Okay. That is annoying. They're going to ransack 3. They have Bebo. Can they cast Bebo? Do they really have enough studs for this? They don't. Okay, good, good. They don't have any yellow studs in their... They don't have any yellow studs available to cast with. So what should be their biggest weakness here? What should we go for? I guess they're yellow fighters. We should target those because they don't have enough yellow stud generation. There goes the cat, though. It's gone. And we're going to put that
gray goo scenario in the base plate. It has to go there. I'm sorry. It just has to. Our plan is just to get enough studs to cast a collapsing laboratory and use this now to destroy the snickering skewer. Get them out of here. That will take 400 damage. The dwarven pilot will. In turn, we just need one more blue stud, and we'll have, well, one more blue card in the base plate. Then we'll cast collapsing laboratory, then the morphic catalyst. We just gotta keep the goos ready so we can just throw down an entire hand of cards here. Oh, that is irritating. They have chuckling arsonist. That's gonna deal some damage probably. When this card is cast, ransack 3. If you do deal 200 damage to a target enemy fighter, it loses 200 power, and that is irritating. And they have 6 cards in their graveyard right now. We need to make sure they run out of fuel. The Smiley group is kind of aggressive, so we do have to be aware of that. They don't have any cards in their base plate, so they do lose some momentum. That will be critical for us to try and gain something there. We may have to risk a turn where we just get attacked constantly, because I do want to cast the collapsing laboratory, put that goo golem in the base plate, and put the collapsing laboratory in the base plate. We'll just use it, cast it, and let's end turn. We'll have to take a hit here, but we will have 3 goos out within the next turn because we have Morphic Catalyst and the effect of the collapsing laboratory to be used, and I don't know if they realize that, but very curious to see what they do. We have Infinite Flames. We can't use that yet, but we will try to, so let's try to make a comeback here. Heal up Morphic Catalyst. Good, and use this goo. Come on, these need to be good cards. Please. Okay, that's kind of good. Transform, just roll the dice. Give me some good goo here. That's very nice. Terrific. And now let's see what they do. And let's end turn. And that is just what we have to do. We have a Arrow of God's Wrath we can maybe use. I can deal 50 damage to a target fighter. Give yourself this copy of this card without the effect. And they're going to attack probably the Morphic Catalyst. We need to destroy everything they can cast, though, in the meantime. And Mr. T is whenever in effect you control targets a fighter for the first time each turn, a target fighter gains 50 health and power. So they target one of the cards there. They're going to take out the Catalyst. I don't know, the Laughing Stocks would die if they did do that. They have 16 cards left in their deck because of the Laughing Stock effect. It destroyed the bottom 4 cards of their deck. They're targeting Sol 20. Oh well. It's not enough to destroy it though. And now we need to cast Gooplast here. Use this. Transform, I say. Transform into something really useful for us, please. Oh, that's sorta okay. Whatever, just now heal this card here. And I guess that helped us. Very nice. That's some unintentional synergy. We have the Police Cooperator. We have no police cards, though. So what do we do with Arrow of God's Wrath? We could attack a card with that. Destroy the Chuckling Arsonist, though. Get them out of here and destroy the Arrow of... I don't know who we target. Just get rid of Sod. I'm sorry, Sod 20. You need to go. You need to at least be useful, though. So, took out a card there. Now target the Laughing Stock, and then in turn... And Arrow of God's Wrath is... not too great, but at least we can use it again. We can use it twice, basically. And the Police Cooperator is searching for... It can't attack, but it's searching for police cards in our hand. We don't have any, though. And what would they do? I'm very curious here. We just need more blue cards. They have the Snickering Skewer now. Oh well. They're going to recur a card and will gain 100 health and power. Why do they use a poorly made obby, though? That is such a weird move. I can see what I use intrusive advertising for the fodder, but do they have the Money Factory card? I don't know. I don't know. I'm very curious. So they have the Smiley Slasher. That could be bad. Smiley Slasher is kind of good, honestly. We'll destroy Bebo within the next turn. Or at least, yeah, Bebo has to go. Bebo has to go down. We'll use Arrow of God's Wrath to get rid of that one. And Arrow of God's Wrath will at least deal 50 damage to a target fighter. And that is what we need to do. That is the game plan. Are they going to end turn yet? End turn, please! You have 14 cards left. We have 27. They've gone through so much of their deck. Just ransacking stuff. And now let's use... We can't do anything. We have mob mentality, really. Just get rid of Bebo. Sure. Do that now. Then that card will at least be able to heal more for Catalyst more. Did the Arrow of God's Wrath get rid of that? Good. Transform this card here. Use more for Catalyst to heal itself. Then use this card to destroy the Snickering Skewer. They're gone. We have Opportunistic Coward. During your end step, you have 1 more cards in your hand. Ready and return this card to your hand. That's not even a good card. Oh my goodness gracious. Whatever, just destroy this card though. Laughing Stock is gone. And this card can't attack, so it's whatever. It can't search for any cards. We'll just have to attack with this one. And let's end turn and see what they do. They have no cards in the field. They also have no stud generation, but the Opportunistic Coward is now in our hand. We may use this to cast Infinite Flames in the next turn. We'll probably do that because Infinite Flames would be nice. And that just can be used constantly if we just have the exactly 3 red studs, which is something this deck is built around, to have those 3 red studs constantly for maybe Eisenhower's Apprentice or just random red cards that they exist because of Morphic Goo. And what would they do? They have no... They're just now building up their base play. They went all in on the attack and they've suffered for it thanks to Mr. T. And Mr. T is what we need to keep alive currently because that effect it has. Hopefully it doesn't die at all. I really hope it doesn't. We need to keep Morphic Catalyst alive as well. They have the Laughing Stock. They're going to run out of cards. This Smiley player is going to run out of cards in their deck to keep just ransacking. I mean, they use that as fuel, but I'm just saying they're going to run out of cards. My goodness. And come on. 8 cards left and time left. You don't have enough time left. How many studs do they have? Quite a few. They're going to cast Kingerin, Surrounded by Family. And they're going to ransack a bunch of cards. Maybe we need to kill that card, Kingerin, Surrounded by Family, because it seems pretty good. And that is ransacking a number of cards. Look at the number of cards you obliterated this game. X is that number. If X is 15 more, all allied fighters gain 300 power. Oh well. We gotta kill Kingerin, Surrounded by Family. He's gonna run. That is his big card. Skylar Chin is relying on. Actually, I got a brilliant idea. Copy it. Give me that Kingerin, Surrounded by Family, please. Thank you. Heal up this card here. Fantastic. And we have now copied their card because of the power of the Morphium project. Can just take away win conditions. Well, not take them away, but just copy them. And put the Opportunistic Coward in the base plate. And focus on that Laughing Stock. They're targeted. They're down now. And Kingerin, Surrounded by Family, will be very annoying, but we will destroy him within the next turn, probably because we will have enough studs for all that. And our copy of Kingerin, Surrounded by Family, will fight theirs, maybe. They cast a Smiley Slasher. We just need more goo, really. That would be ideal. And they're going to use now, maybe... They're going to use City Destruction, possibly. They could, because they have enough cards in their hand. They have enough cards in their graveyard, I mean, from Scour to City. That'll be irritating, but I'm very curious to see what they do. But they use that to destroy our Kingerin, Surrounded by Family. We basically got for free. They could do that, they could, but if they don't, they don't. The Snickering Skewer has to go, though, or maybe Kingerin, I don't know. They're both annoying. And they're going to deal 1,200 damage to a fighter. Who's that going to be? I wonder, are they going to target Morphic Catalyst or Kingerin? They may, I don't know, I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. What will they do? What will they do? And they are going to... Okay, deal the damage, please. What are you doing? Deal the damage. Okay, they're taking all the cards out of their graveyard. They're ransacking them, yes, as I expect them to do. And please use the card. Oh no, our Kingerin is gone. That's tragic. It's such a sad day for our Kingerin. He's destroyed. And I need more goo here, really, I do. Their Kingerin only has 800 health. They take out the Morphium project, though. That's unfortunate. We'll probably sacrifice to board mode to get rid of them. Play this Morphic Catalyst and heal up this one. Make them stronger. And just keep this one alive. That's all I gotta do. Fantastic. And now we can heal up this card here. Fantastic. Good, good, good. And transform that goo. Wonderful. And it's just a Necroforensic guy, I think. Whatever. Just destroy their Kingerin. And destroy their very powerful cards here. The Smiley Slasher, they have to go before they get too powerful. And Mr. T is gone, but he served a good purpose. And destroy their Fashionable Citizen. And they have no cards on the field left anymore, just due to the sheer power of Morphic. We have dominated the field. This Smiley player is running out of fuel for their deck. Their legendary is gone. And their main assault has failed, and they forfeit. We were just too much for them. The Morphic was too much for them. And with that, this has been the Morphic Group and Blox cards. If you enjoyed the game, you can check it out in the video description. A link to it is there. If you enjoyed the video itself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.